Well, certainly Yo is, he's been unbelievable, what he's done. But as we pointed out in the last couple weeks, you keep looking up. There's other guys getting big hits, and tonight we got other guys that had big hits, and so it's a part of a team. It's part of the team effort. As good as Yo has been, certainly he's absolutely brilliant. But it's going to take a lot more than one guy to get us to the end.
What did you see out of Steven tonight, especially after that first inning?
Well, I think he settled down after the first inning a little bit. Even the second inning, I didn't think he was real crisp. I thought about from the third inning on, I think his stuff got better, command got a little bit better. I was really concerned about the pitch count. He was at 60 pitches in 3 innings, and I just thought it was really important that he give us 6 innings tonight. And fortunately, he settled down a little bit and got us through that.
Terry, when you got Uribe, you talked about what he's been through, and it doesn't matter. Like, he's sitting on the bench if he's sitting on the bench for 2 or 3 days. And can you talk about his value and what the depth he gives your bench?
Well, I'll tell you this, Rich. Both he and Kelly brought some real professional at-bats when they showed up here. But I talked to one of Uribe's former managers, and the one thing he told me about him is he said, this guy is a big-time player. He will get big-time hits for you. He said, you play him, and he'll be 0 for 4, and all of a sudden he'll walk up in the 9th inning with 2 guys on and hit a ball off the fence. And that's what we've seen from him. So not only has he been, a tremendous guy in the clubhouse, he's got big hits for us.
Terry, Clippard was unavailable?
Yeah, unbeknownst to me, but right during batting practice, right before batting practice, he threw a ball and his lower back just grabbed on him and tightened up. And so he came in and got treatment on it, and the trainer said he shouldn't pitch tonight, so we didn't have him.
Do you have concern that that's more than just tonight?
Well, I won't know until tomorrow. We're having him looked at it as we speak, but I won't know until later.
Terry, could you go through the thought process on pitching to Ryan rather than walking him and forcing Girardi's hand on Tanaka there in that key situation?
Well, I kind of figured since they had Shreve warming up that if they got somebody, if they got him up, they probably were going to hit for him. So, and I didn't want A-Rod up there against Steven Matz, if that makes any sense. So I'll take my chance with Ryan.
Terry, on one of the biggest, maybe one of the biggest games you've had here at Citi Field, how appropriate is it that 2 or 3 of the oldest guys on the team, most experienced guys, Lucas, Dan, and David Wright, even having the big games to get you guys over the hump?
Well, that's what your veterans are supposed to do. They're supposed to step up. Your star players, when you get on these big stages, that's when they come through. And tonight our guys, again got big hits. Tanaka was really pitching great. I bet you if you talk to him, he probably would tell you he made 2 mistakes and both of them were hit out of the ballpark because he didn't miss by much at any time.
Terry, like you mentioned, that pitch count for Matz got up there pretty quickly. At that point, how closely are you watching to see how quickly he can adjust or how he can kind of handle the situation or even kind of regain sort of that feel, because it is a big spot.
It was, Mark, and you're right. And we tried, his first start. Now, you're still looking at a guy trying to really get back in where he was before he got hurt. But his first start, as the game went on, he got a lot better. And the same when he his second start, after that first inning, he got through that first inning, and all of a sudden he started making much better pitches. His changeup became more effective, and I think that tonight. So hopefully his next start, he's again this much better, because we're gonna need him as we continue in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna need his outings, to go out and give us those 6 or 7 innings.
Terry, what has he shown you post-injury, just in terms of moxie, or whatever you want to call it, not necessarily having it early on and seemingly fighting his way through that and not getting, letting the game get out of control?
I tell you, that's what he doesn't do. He doesn't let the game get out of control. He has a knack for, even though he's not real sharp, to just battle and make a pitch he's got to make. And he used his changeup tonight. He didn't have his good breaking ball tonight. Threw some sliders tonight, which I was glad to see. But he's just, And I know they were minor league games, and they're tough to compare, but, you know, this guy's pitched 2 championship games in 2 years, almost pitched a no-hitter last year. He competes, and tonight was, you know, the biggest stage he's going to be on, has been on in his young career, and it was a good lesson for him, because I think his next outing is going to be, you know, even it may not be as big a crowd, but the games are going to get, as we continue to get near the end, are going to mean more and more as we get, you know, towards the last few games.
All the way over here, Terry. I know Familia completed the game. Are you fairly confident where he got hit is okay, and it was directly on the knee, or was below
No,
the
he
knee?
got hit and right below the kneecap, so he's all right. You're that big and strong, you don't get hurt, stuff like that.
Terry, you know, when you talk, you didn't have Clifford, but the two guys, you know, Robles and Reed, just the job they did for you.
They were tremendous. Those guys have done, and I'll tell you, Addison Reed has been, I mean, so much more than we could have expected. He's come in big. I mean, that part of the order. Those are, you know, that's a big part of the order. And as he's done so far, every time he's been out there, he just makes pitches, his pitches and pounds his own. You know, one of the things I heard about him is that he can walk guys. We have not even seen that. It hasn't come close to seeing anything like that. So, fortunately, we got, you know, had some easy innings, so we'll have him next couple days.